This is round 8 of the ERC 2015 and we're heading to the Mediterranean Sea for the Cyprus Rally. Cyprus is a challenge. It's a mixed rally with 60% gravel, 40% tarmac. Keitan Keatanovic is leading the championship 23 points ahead of Craig Breen, who's not competing, remember, here in Cyprus. Alexei Lukyanuk is third for the time being. Well, Cyprus is the third largest island in the tourist hotspot that is the great cultural heritage of the Mediterranean. As you feast your eyes on the driver's standings, just look beyond it and at the magnificent scenery that we're going to be cutting through during this rally. Cyprus has amazing history. It's been part of the World Championship and the Intercontinental Rally Challenge in the ERC, the rally based in the capital, Nicosia. Cyprus, an amazing cultural heritage, lying in the Mediterranean south of Turkey and to the west of Syria and Lebanon. It's very beautiful. Well, leg 1 consists of 8 stages, about 60% on tarmac, but the only gravel tyres are allowed. It's hot, bone dry, and dust is often the issue. Well, starting with a leg of a loop of 4 stages, 3 of them will be repeated in the afternoon. And that amount of tarmac, saving tyres for the gravel portions, will be crucial. This is what we're dealing with. It is hot already. Which tyre will perform better on tarmac? Well, last year it was the Pirelli gravel tyre. Time to start then, just after sunup. The local driver is Panikos Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, familiar to many of you. It's the first ERC driver on the road. Well, clean at tarmac, but has to clean the gravel portions as well. Sadly for him, crashed on stage 1. He's out. Keitan Keatanovic. Keito is the first leading ERC driver on the road, the fastest on the qualifying stage yesterday, and chose to go 5th on the road today, signing the second fastest time on stage 1. Keito is a dramatic driver, but he keeps it very, very smooth on all surfaces. It's his level of control that means he's so good. Well, Keito through on stage 2 after the Gaffro, and 80% on tarmac on stage 2, longest stage of the rally, 22 kilometres, don't forget. But there's a lot of gravel that's been washed onto the tarmac, and it's very, very slippery out there. Well, it almost looks like a full gravel stage. Keito fastest on stage 2 and takes the lead of the rally. Robert Consali, driving the Citroën DS3 R5, recovered well from his huge crash in the previous ERC round in the Baron Rally, you may remember. Fabulously lyrical voice of the Belgian co-driver Laura Van Nest, calling the notes for Robert's brother Stefan. Well, it's a new chassis for this rally after the crash in Barham. Poor visibility, hanging dust, 5th fastest on the stage, losing about half a minute. We're still looking for the right setup for these stages, but no mistakes to this point. 3rd overall after stage 2 and 53 seconds behind the leader, Keito. Minor errors for Consani, but looking very good. Well, the Peugeot 208 T16 is in the hands of Bruno Magalesh. Often struggles with funding, but is here. Back in the ERC, poor visibility for him too. Only a 2-minute gap so far between the cars on the road. Well, he prefers 3-minute gaps, and that way you get less dust. Third fastest on stage 1 though for Bruno. Well, not perfect the setup for the combination of gravel and tarmac. Magalesh on stage 2, second fastest on this one. Climbing to second place overall though, 39.4 seconds behind Cato. Alexei Luklanyuk is a Belarusian. Well, actually he's a Russian competing on a Belarusian license. Only his second rally on gravel with the Ford Fiesta R5. Took 15th place as a road position on the road for leg 1. It means that his tarmac is really quite dusty. The gravel is being cleaned, pushes hard on the first stage, but loses power steering, sadly for him, at the end. Still fastest on stage 1, into 2 then. Really bad luck for him. Not able to solve a power steering problem on the road. And in this section, running to stage 2. No power steering during the longest stage of the rally, and that's going to hurt. Stage 2, very hard drive for him. Exhausting. And Lukianuk, we've seen 2 minutes on the stage, and sadly for him, dropping to 10th overall in the standings. And a huge gap, 1:55 behind Cato. Power steering is important. Well, if you need 2 arms to steer, you need somebody else to help you out. So Cato in a comfortable position ahead of Bruno Magalesh. This is how they stand with Consani 53 seconds down, and then the minute ticks over with Tarabus 1:01 down, Budvalis 1:25 adrift. Well, what would life have been like with power steering? You can only assume. Lukianuk 10th. In a short while we'll be back with more from the Cyprus Rally and the ERC. Stay with us. Welcome back to Cyprus for round 8 of the ERC. Kajatanovic is leading ahead of Magalesh and Consani. Lukianuk is only 10th after a power steering failure. So now for the second half of the first loop.
Do 1 prawy ciasny ciąć mega syp przechodzi 2 prawy 40, 5 prawy krótki mocno skamuje.
Well, the Polish voice announces Kajtan Kajatanovic in the Fiesta R5. Comfortable lead after Lukianuk's time loss. Be a long rally without strong opposition, so focus is essential. Not easy to keep your mind where you need to be in this kind of situation. And if you start to relax just for a moment and change the tempo, then you can have a big moment. And indeed, Cato had one at the end of stage 3. Nonetheless, fastest on stages 3 and 4. This is Consani, fighting for second overall with Bruno Magalesh. He's 13 seconds behind Magalesh at the start of stage 3, but had a huge spin in 3. Lost 45 seconds, dropped to 4th in the overall standings.
Merci un peu.
That is a very cool co-driver. This is Tarabus, Jeremiah to you and me. Let's go to Fabia S2000. Neat car, neat driver as well. Switched from the Skoda R5 to the S2000 version for Cyprus. Taking third from Consani. Good technical choice then. Minute 24 behind the leader Kato and 13 seconds ahead of Consani. Dominikas Budvalis, the Lithuanian, with the Subaru Impreza WRX. Nice to see these machines still competing at the highest level. Was third in the ERC2 driver standings. Needs a good result to stay in the running for the ERC2 title, but sadly crashed out in stage 3. David Botka, the Hungarian, in his Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, second in the ERC2 driver standings, 12 points behind championship leader Wojtek Steiff. Went off on the last corner of stage 3, still took the fastest, or the second fastest, I beg your pardon, time, behind Kato, of course. 6 overall, second in the ERC2 driver standings after stage 4. This is Wojtek Steiff, the aforementioned, the Czech, with Subaru Impreza STI. ERC2 championship leader, and you can see why. Very nice and smooth, super controlled. On his second rally on gravel, would you believe? He has a small budget, and so that probably adds to the caution on this very tricky mix of gravel and tarmac. Doesn't want to wreck the machine. Well, 15th overall and 5th in the ERC2 classification after stage 4. It was a good run, safe one. Christos Demons-Theonis in a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9, fastest ERC2 driver after stage 4 and 5th in the overall standings. This is how we stack up after stage 4. That's our class. Well, the atmosphere at the service park A as the cars arrived, always nervous. So, how would this ground be made up? So a tense time for everyone, including rally leader number 11, Ketan Kejtanovic. Well, you might say he was a happy man at this time. Nerves, though, have a strange way about them. How's he feeling?
We are leading because we are pushing very hard. I'm not thinking about this. Maybe I must to change my plans.
Is that nervous laughter? Well, the other favourites or contenders for a podium encountering some problems. Here's Bruno.
You will try to fix now. Okay, it's not a big problem, but you know that if you are going to the stage and if you made a spin, you can lose everything because it's not possible to put the car on. So the last stages were a little bit difficult.
Failing starter button, by the way, is the problem. Robert Consani in Citroën DS3 already lost nearly 2 minutes on the leader. His car setup is not good, and he's reporting to his engineer. He says, I think we have a power issue. It affects the chassis behaviour. We're losing traction, but I just can't find out why. We had a spin, we lost the rear brakes. And for us, at this moment, Cyprus Rally is more about survival than attack and performance, to be honest. And finally, Alexei Lukianuk joining the service park. Lost almost 3 minutes this morning. 8th overall without power steering, remember?
I cannot just imagine how he can manage it on the stages, because it's so hard you cannot even predict.
We are going to change the steering rack. I hope it helps. If not, I don't know what to do.
Well, keep asking Alexei to change gear and action the brakes for you. So it's now up to the mechanics to try and fix the problems. They have 30 minutes to operate. The H Racing team changing the steering rack. Well, the steering rack is connected to the suspension and they have to remove it and hope that the repair will be okay and not too arduous on the mechanics around it. Meanwhile, Team Truck Lukianyuk is appreciating what's being done on his behalf.
The power steering still not working, so we expect it to be fixed and to keep running. But
so you may use a bigger steering wheel?
yeah, it will reduce the force on the steering wheel by 10% maybe, not more. So it's almost nothing.
Lukianyuk has 4 stages, almost 50 timed kilometers for the afternoon. It's going to be tough on him. Well, as our helicopter departs, let's do the same, leaving the service park in Nicosia and rejoining the action with Kato leading ahead of Megalesh and Tarabos. It's bright, it's breezy, it's busy. A lot of dusty ground to be covered then. Well, both stages are a repeat from the morning. Approaching the hottest part of the day. Alexei Lukianyuk of Belarus registration, still leading. But steering wheel problems, as you know. Loses 48 seconds on 5, 32 seconds on stage 6. Manages remarkably to keep 8th position overall and 4 minutes down. Robert Consani still losing time because of high engine temperature, water temperature around 120 by the way at the end of the stages, so the engine is down on power as a result. Bruno Megalesh, well, starter issue fixed at the midday service park. He's the best of the rest. Consani 4th overall. Megalesh, well, 4 times second on stages in a row until now. Second on 5 and 6, each time 17 seconds behind the leader. Comfortable second overall was he. Tarabos, 4th best time on stage 5, 3rd on stage 6. Exactly the same time as Megalesh, still 3rd overall, 2 minutes and 41 behind the leader and 13 seconds in front of Consani. This is Estonia's Jeff Jeets. Had a difficult day with a broken rear roll bar and a puncture. 4th on stage 6, just 3 seconds behind Tarabos. He's gaining 1 position. Into the top 10. It's good. David Botka, a good pace for the opening stages of the day and had gearbox problems on stage 6. Only 1st and 2nd gears at the end, so he did well. Still 6 overall, 2nd in the ERC2 class. This is Klusak. Now in the fight for 6 overall, Botka just 3.6 seconds behind. And Denos, best Cypriot driver overall, one of the local heroes here, now 5th overall, 18 seconds in front of Botka, leading the ERC2 category. Ketan Kejtanovic then still comfortable leader, winning stages 5 and 6. He's won all stages but 1 on this day. Wow. The one he didn't take was stage 1 and just 1.9 seconds behind Lukianyuk, and so his lead just magnifying, 1 minute and 53 over Megalesh. Stay with us for more action from the Rally of Cyprus. Welcome back to the Cyprus Rally. It's the ERC. It's Ketan Kejtanovic holding the lead over Megalesh and Tarabos. Heading off then for the last 2 stages of leg 1. This is Wojtek Steiff in his Subaru Impreza Evo 9. ERC2 Championship leader. Remember, it's only his second gravel rally.
You know, I always enjoy when I see you in the top of the stage, because it means that another stage is behind us. Here we just need to bring as many points as possible.
15th overall, looking good. This is David Botka in the Mitsubishi Impreza WRX. Was in the fight for 5th at the beginning, but lost time and positions due to a gearbox problem in the afternoon. And it's getting worse, 7th overall.
Gearbox problem, and 1, 2 is oak, and 3 and 4 is no gearbox, and 5.
Sounds like no gears at all. Good effort from the Czech driver Anton Schlustak in the Skoda Fabia S2000, gaining 1 position overall, now 6:30 seconds off a top 5 position. Denos in the Mitsubishi Lancer. Dream day for the Cypriot driver, top 5 overall, 26 seconds behind Consani, was 6 overall last year on his home rally, and leading ERC2 class after Botka's gearbox problems. He's in a happy place.
This stage is very good, I like. Happy. Everything is okay.
Okay with us as well, Mr. Denos. Robert Consani in the Citroën DS3 suffered heating problems, loss of power all day long. Well, the setup of the car still not to his liking. Pace notes, well, okay, after the first day with his new co-driver, Belgian Lara Van Est. She's a class act and in demand, you can imagine. 4th overall, would like a podium here, would Robert.
Problem is not fixed. In the car you feel you miss a lot of power, and it's difficult to drive in this condition.
Meanwhile, 3rd overall, behind Ketan Kejatanovic, and indeed behind Megalesh as well, Jaromir Tarabus, the Czech, with his Fabia S2000. Had an unusual problem in the morning when a spare wheel moved and stopped the fan for the rear diff. Generally though, enjoying his day.
Yeah, we are happy. Everything is okay, and this stage after start is a wide road and tarmac wide road. Fast, but finish is really nice gravel and perfect. Enjoy it.
Bruno Megalesh, a solid 2nd overall, 50 seconds in front of Tarabus. Remember, his engine starter issue in the morning. Well, it was fixed at the midday service. Also adopted a softer suspension setup for the afternoon loop, which proved to be a good choice. As with the other drivers, didn't enjoy the dust, but on this section, well, clear vision and clearly very, very quick. Alexei Lukyanuk in the Ford Fiesta R5, 95 timed kilometers on the day without power steering. It was quite a workout, but not a welcome one. An exhausting but remarkable job. He'd elected to start 15th on the road, a gamble to make up time differences in the stages. But this challenge was over after stage 2. How hard is that on the man?
Левый 1.30, правый 2, минус 50.
I hope we will be able to fix something, but in the beginning of the 2nd loop we understand that we should go through the whole day without power steering. I hope we will have something left for tomorrow.
Well, he'll have bigger muscles, that's for sure. Well, this is the rally leader on the particular super special stage, Nicosia City. Last stage of the day, 23% of gravel. in the UN buffer zone, incidentally, near the border with the Turkish part of Cyprus. Once again, stage win for Cato, 7th of the day. Even in difficult conditions with mixed road surfaces, it's a perfect day for Cato. He's looking very good in the European Rally Championship. Throw anything at this man and he'll drive through it.
Second part is absolutely slippery. It's like driving on ice. Amazing. But general, we are really happy. We won the stage. Really good.
He is really good. Just check the gap. More than 2 minutes. Well, tomorrow there'll be another 8 stages, don't forget. The weather will be the same. Hot, dry, very, very nice to watch some rallying. Well, also some good news for Alexei Lukyanuk. Finally, the team managed to fix the power steering problem during service this evening. Alexei will be fighting hard tomorrow from 8th place, trying to gain positions, of course. We'll see you then.